Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gene with the Haas Factory Outlet. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our ST15Y here behind me. So this is our live tooling lathe. It's got the biggest change we've made is now we have the BMT45 tooling on this turret. We used to have a VDI, which if you're familiar with that at all, we had a big box that was here, and it drove the tools, which you didn't have a whole lot of room to get in here. And with the BMT45, we've really increased the rigidity as well as the workspace you have. This machine has a 2.5-inch through bore and a 20 horsepower main spindle. We also have a 12 horsepower live tooling on it. So right now I have a Royal collet closer on here. I have 4 driven tools, and I also have the 24 half indexing turret on this machine, which gives us the ability to fit a little bit more tools in here. So what we're going to do now is give you a little demonstration of the machine cutting. So right now what it's doing is it's actually turning the OD of the part. What we're making here is a garden hose nozzle. This will actually be the male part of it. Now we're going to come and we're going to make a knurl on the back side of the part, and this is going to help whenever you go to thread it on your garden hose. It's going to give you something to grip on. Now we're going to make all of the grooves for the O-rings to go into, which is going to help the garden hose nozzle seal up whenever it's together. Now we're making a 3/4 20 thread. What we're working on now is C-axis interpolation to make the ports for the water to come through. It's going to do the same tool path on 3 different 3 different spots on the front of this nozzle. Most of the tooling in this demo is ISCAR, and I have some Sandvik, and I also have Hymatech heads in here. That's what the live tooling heads are. I also have a Allied spade drill that I'm using on the second portion of this part. Now this next tool is going to come in and it's actually going to provide hex flats on the back of the part. This is another good showcase of the BMT45 turret and seeing the rigidity of it. I'm running this tool at 4,000 RPM and you can barely hear the tool running. Anyone who's familiar with VDI tooling knows that whenever you get it up to 4,000 RPM, it makes quite a bit of noise. It's going to come in and chamfer the hex that I've done, as well as chamfer the front of the water ports. The next operation is actually a parting operation, so it's going to put a chamfer on the back side of the part and then come down. For this demo, I didn't get it to part it off completely because I didn't want to put any dings on the part, so I'm actually going to reach in there and break it off the rest of the way. And then you'll see that the bar puller will actually pull it out for the next piece for me. So what it's going to do now is remove the rest of the nub that it didn't part off before, and then you'll see this Royal bar puller come down over the piece, open the chuck. It's going to take it out to the length that needs to be out for the next part. It's going to clamp, and then it's going to get out of the way and return to the home position. So I didn't need to use a slide square, or I didn't need to use anything else. I automated that process inside the machine. So it's just a good way of showing you that automation doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to use a bar feeder, or you don't have to have a robot. You can get into automation with just $1,000. I think that's how much that Royal bar puller costs. So it's an easy way to automate your process with not spending a lot of money. And anytime you can do something like that, it takes the opportunity for making a mistake with a slide square, or having the piece out too far, or not having the piece out enough, or having it too far in. Or
you got the coolant running.
Yeah. So this second piece gives us a good opportunity to show off the live tooling as well, because I do quite a bit of etching on the second piece in here. There's a portion on here that I put a PMTS logo, and I also have a Haas logo on here. I did have the coolant on for this one because of the drill. So now what you're seeing is you're actually seeing the etching. It's using the C-axis interpolation to do the etching in here. We're actually going to be finishing this hose nozzle off on the UMC 500. I'm going to go over there later today, so if you're over about 4 o'clock, you'll get an opportunity to get one of these. We have a series of demos going on today. We have a handout on the TM0P as well. It's a speed vise handle. And then on the UMC 500, we're making a bottle opener.
It's engraving right now?
Yeah, right now it's engraving. It's actually engraving logos, so the Haas logo and the PMTS logo. So having the capability of a Y-axis on your lathes can really help you improve your process. I don't know how many times in the machining atmosphere I've had it to where I had one hole to put in the side of a piece, or I had hex, and without having Y-axis or live tooling capabilities, I've had to take that part and I've had to put it onto another machine just to do a small operation that could have been finished on a lathe, one and done. So that's one of the biggest benefits on this machine. Now, this machine we have here today has a tailstock on it, but it's also offered with a B-axis and a sub-spindle chuck on it as well. So right now it's actually going to drill the hole that comes into the piece. It drills it about 3 inches deep. That's a 687 Allied spade drill. Right now I'm using a number 3 center drill to actually put the chamfer on the back side of that. Now we're going to tap it to get that 3/4 20 thread in the back side of it. Again, it's going to come down with the part off. It's going to take it down to 100 thou diameter. I'm going to get in the machine and break it off the rest of the way.